When I was a kid, I always dreamed of this perfect partner. I saw these Disney movies and I was inspired and I was convinced I had someone that is created just to be with me. And I never gave up on this desire, although later I experienced relationships where I didn't feel committed to, where I didn't feel this reciprocal love, where I didn't feel safe. And I was always left and abandoned in moments of fights or hardships. But one day I found my best friend. I found my perfect partner. I'm Carmen, and this is my husband Daniel, who flew 6,000 miles or 10,000 kilometers, if you will, just to be with me and to marry me.
And here's how we did it.
I already shared that I always had these relationships first where I didn't feel my love is really received. And I had to be the one that always apologized. And my partners, they were not so much into, self-improvement and relationships improvement. And it felt very like I'm banging my head against the wall. There must be a man that is actually on the same page with me always. Someone that I feel safe with. Someone that really loves me for who I am. I don't have to put on a mask, look a certain way, have a specific body, or do specific things, these girly things that maybe I was not so much into. That always felt really limited and I was really, really sad. And I never gave up on this dream in my heart, like there must be someone. There must be. Why am I not being loved? Why am I not experiencing like this commitment that I give into a relationship, If I say I love you, I do love you with my whole heart and I'm not in a like half committed relationship. I'm all in. But I never felt it was really met. And I did always have to agree that I also felt like with my partners, it's like 70% nice, but there are like these 30% that don't feel good. Like I don't feel I can be myself.
It's almost there, but not quite there. It was the same for me. I was always dating or trying to date girls, but things never moved forward. Expected people to commit to the same level as me, but I realized, and it was hard for me to see that people were not like that. You could give your 100%, but they would even 10 or 20. No. So it always felt for me like, why is this happening? Mm-hmm. Why am I feeling this way for someone, but they are not giving that back to me? Am I wrong? Am I doing it the wrong way? And for a long time, I thought it was me who was not doing things right, until I realized there must be someone outside there for me.
I'd call it almost like the last time that I fell in love, before I actually was able to meet my one true love here and actually made him fly 6,000 miles to be with me, to actually commit to me. Was this moment when I experienced all these hardships before, all at once, in one person, combined. It was like everything I experienced my whole life combined in one person and a punch in my face. We were opening up and we were becoming really good friends, best friends. It was really romantic and it was super like, it felt just so good and like, wow, this person, I must know him from a past life or something. Like, I could feel this electricity between each other. And the moment I was like, oh my God, I think it's the one, it's this guy I've been looking for my whole life. He must be. And the moment I told him, and it was really vulnerable for me to tell someone like, hey, I think you're the one, because I never did that before. Way 100 times like crazier than telling someone I love you, right? So I told him, I think you're the one. And you know what he did? He looked me in the eyes and he was like, he rolled his eyes and went back. He smashed the door and that's it. And I was like, oh my God. I felt naked. I felt vulnerable. I cried really hard. Mm-hmm. I'm done. I'm never gonna let my heart get broken again. And if so, there must be a purpose. Like there must be a purpose. I'm not here to experience pain. I'm not here to, get my heart broken over and over and over again. I'm done with this. Who and where is my right person? Who is it? And the fun fact is that the right person was never somewhere there. It was actually me. I actually had to fall in love with myself. I had to pull myself off this like sad space where I was feeling really heartbroken and, hug myself, tell myself I love you. And I essentially applied the mirror exercise. So I kept doing that. I kept loving myself. And this is actually when we started to meet.
For me, it was like completely different, or maybe the same. I was still very attached to my ex-girlfriend after some years of breaking up. I was trying to make her my perfect person no matter what. I was looking for all these signs and synchronicities and, you know, all these like excuses to be like, she is the one for you, but she was never the one for me, right? I was really attached to the outcome of her being the perfect person. But the moment I let her go, I realized that it was possible to have this level of perfection in love. It's just, I was just getting clear on who that person was. That was something I couldn't control on my own. I couldn't decide or make a person be my perfect person. I had to let life bring that perfect person to me. And that was the lesson I learned over the years. Don't try to make someone your perfect person, because that's going to be hard for both of you. When I released that attachment and that control, not far from that, like Carmen showed up in my life actually. I was like, oh, there is this nice girl. I remember I saw her in Facebook. I didn't text her. I wanted to send her a friend request, but I forgot. And like 5 minutes later after that, she sent the friend request. And I was like, oh, this is crazy, right? But I was also very cautious with that because I was like, okay, you just came out of these like years of relationship with this girl. Let's just be cautious and not just jump into conclusions. Maybe she's just like a nice friend or, you know, someone that you can share stuff. And that's how we started realizing like, well, you know, even if it's not happening, it's a nice relationship that we can have like a nice friendship.
Yeah, and I think what you just shared is really important to know that love is not rushed. You know, there is actually this song from Phil Collins. It's like, you can't hurry love. Oh, you just have to, I don't know. So it just means that you know what is meant for you, your right person will find you. And I truly enjoyed life. I still enjoy life, right? I enjoyed myself through good sleep. I enjoyed myself through like a healthy, nice fitness routine, something I truly love. I don't do for others, but I do for myself. And this is really where we couldn't stop and prevent each other from meeting. And I was also hesitant when I found him. I never ever add strangers on Facebook, right? If I don't know you, I haven't seen you ever like personally or don't know you in any way, I don't send you a follow request. But with him, I did it because I was like, something is different about this boy. Like, what's going on here? And I was also like cautious, but I was like, well, you know, he just seems extremely nice. Like, why not get to know each other as friends, like be unattached to the outcome, right? And we never stopped talking since, never ever. And it didn't take long until we actually revealed each other as, you know, being the perfect lovers for each other. That means we have like this list with all the qualities and desires we have in a partner. You can do this too, highly recommend, where you really sit down and write everything down you desire in a partner. Like, for me, it was that they're committed to me, right? Committed. No halfway stuff here, like, oh, maybe let me check, or I may marry you, I may not. No, damn, I deserve like full commitment. That's what I desire. That's what I'm up for. And this is where it actually got hard because, you know, we figured out he's in Mexico. I'm from Germany. That's 6,000 miles apart. How in the world are we going to overcome this? How in the world are we going to choose where are we going to live? And I was about to blow everything I had in Germany to be like, okay, I'm going to live in Mexico with you, but I had no genuine desire to do that other than just being with him. Like, this was my commitment, right? I just showed up.
We explored, and then I asked her to be my girlfriend, and that's when it happened. And she didn't ask, like, how are you feeling? Do you like me? What are we going to do? Her first question was, when are you coming to Germany? And that's when I thought, okay, this is the right person for me. All my dates before Carmen, I was like, let's go to the movies, let's go to the park, let's go get some ice cream. They were all like, let me check, I'm too busy, I have to do my homework, you know, my aunt's birthday, all of that stuff I always had to work through, like trying to convince these people for these simple things. For the first time in my life, it was not me who was, you know, trying to convince someone to be with me or to make it happen, but it was her telling me like, hey, come now. And I could literally go the next day to Germany. I have to be honest, I was very scared of like, immigration processes or laws, because I thought like I don't want to be, in jail for trying to visit her, and because I was seeing myself like that, like they would be at the airport like, oh, you try to come into this country to see this girl, like no, that's not allowed, go to the jail. So a lot of time I was very afraid that the police would come to get me, that the police would come to get me and put me in jail. It never happened, and honestly they didn't care at all. I came to Germany. But that's, all the fun process. That's why I flew 6,000 miles for her, because I was just like, they are once in a lifetime. Staying in the country, my normal job, my normal life, everything I knew, that will always be there. But moving with this girl, the worst that can happen is that we are actually meant for each other, and I have to stay here, and then we need to build a life, go through all these challenges together. Which it happened, and it's not the worst, actually. It's like the best thing that could have ever happened to each of us, because that's what reveals us as the perfect partner for each other. It was not these intense feelings that I was expecting to have as I had with my past relationship. It was actually like, we have this problem and we are both in it together, and we are not going, to leave each other. That was the main thing with my relationships. Every time we had some kind of fight or challenge, they were immediately out. They were like, you know what, this is not working, see you, let me try with the next guy. But here, it was like, how are we going to solve this new life that we're building? We don't know, let's just try it, one step at a time. And that's how we got here, because we just followed these incredible, amazing feeling of like, there must be someone out there for me, and I'm not going to do any other thing other than get it done, claim that feeling, claim that person until it happens. You either like find the right person, or the right person finds you. So at the end, it's all like this powerful choice in your heart of like, I must keep going no matter what until I find it and I feel complete in this. And when you get there, you get to build a life together.
Yeah, and when you get there, it. You feel better in your life, you feel peaceful, you feel safe, you feel confident. And that from this story you can see, how did she make that Daniel flew to Mexico and not I had to give up everything I know to be with him, right? How did I do this? It's because I was clear in my heart where I want to be. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna let down my whatever I desire in life anymore. Either my person is going to meet me there, or he's not the person. Beauty of your one true love is that they are always willing to sit down with you and do the work together and get clear together, right? It's not that I told Daniel, you have to come to Germany, I'm not going to move for you, or something like that, right? No.
Love with your one true love is never compromising.
Yeah.
Maybe you're used to that because it has happened a lot, right? It happened to us. But when you really have like these deep talks with your one true love, a lot of times I expected her to be a little, like mad at me and be like, no, that's not right. Like, I'm not going to do that. And she was actually like, I was thinking about that, like maybe we can try this or that, and you both share ideas, and then you both come with this like big, nice thing that you complement each other. So
we both win, right?
Yeah.
It's never that you have to give something up that you don't like, right? Like, you were also ready to leave the country. The country was actually pushing him out with heat waves and I don't know.
Yeah, it was very funny because back then, when I was about to move out from Mexico, they were having like heat waves, but like extreme heat waves. Like,
it's like a marathon of heat waves.
People were, well, maybe I won't say this, but like people were dying. Maybe cut that out. But there was more extreme heat waves. Then the job I was in, they were changing the CEO that was in the company for like 40 years. Everything in Mexico was like, we don't want you here anymore, like go away. The city was low on water, so with the heat waves, it was crazy. And it was clear that the country didn't want me in there any longer, at least leaving. Maybe as for vacations, it likes me, right? But it was clear that I was not meant to stay there anymore.
Yeah. And so that's what we mean. It's like, You know, you never have to compromise with the right person. They are willing to have these like deep talks and sometimes hard conversations with you.
Yeah, like life will make it very clear when someone is your person.
Yeah.
I remember that we booked my flight ticket like 6 months in advance, something like that. And all of these heat waves and my job thing and all of this happened like 1 or 2 weeks before my flight.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't happen like earlier or after. It was just like the 2 weeks before I was going to fly to Germany. All of this happened. So it was clear, like, go away, like, get out now. Like, everything that could go wrong was going wrong. And I was like, oh, I feel so like everything is so hostile to me. You know, after living in there for years, everything felt hostile. And when I came to Germany, everything felt very like chilled and peaceful.
He lost a lot of weight.
I lost a lot of weight that too, and we expected it to be something like very, very hard or with a lot of struggle, but actually nothing really bad happened in our process. We expected it to be super hostile too, but it never happened. Life was actually encouraging us and supporting us in staying together.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And honestly, it's harder to not be with your one true love than being with them and working out the little kinks here and there, you know?
So you have your one true love. If this video found you, it's because you are looking for that one true love, and you know what's the best? That true love is looking for you too. You are a lover, but you are also
a beloved.
Yeah, a beloved. So you must love someone, but you must also be loved by someone, and that someone is looking for you.
Exactly.
So you just keep following that feeling, and it will happen because only love is real.
And love never fails. A quote by Jeff and Shelia. And no matter the circumstances, you will make it.
Yeah. Good. I feel complete.
Me too.
There's a lot of stuff in here that the editor can take. With that being said, thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want to get to know more, check down the link in the description to get your toolkit to get your true love journey started. Beautiful. And see you.